20 by 20 grid to create a grid. I can create that by which is having another 20 by 20 point grid. And at each point you have this color attributes and the name attribute. And the name attribute is based on the color value as well. So if the color is 111, then the name is also 1_1_1. If the color is black, then if I look at 0_0 number of points, it looks good. Now let's try to create set the size of this grid corresponds to procedurally this point right out here, of this one is also 20 by 20. Okay, so this is actually one that have the edges. I want to make it white. Use and the same one that's inside for the X and square or rectangle should be black. Alright. Okay, so I think first maybe I can use the center of this primitive as and I can create that by, but it seems like it's a bit offset rectangle or compare with the original grid point, which is this one. And let's copy this size value. There is some offset. This time use it for rows and columns. That is because let's say and actually I want to convert this primitive to a point, not and if I look at use the edge of this number of points value. So now let's also to make the number of size of this grid 400. I think I need to raise the rows and columns by 1. This is actually small plus 1. Now I guess we could use this same size value for the X and now Y value looks good. Alright, in order to convert this primitive into a point with the attribute, and maybe I can use the center of this primitive as the point position, but it seems like it's a bit offset in it compared with the original grid point, which is this one. First of all, I'm going to add a new point at the center. See, there is some offset here. That is because, let's say, which I've created the point. Actually, I want to convert this primitive to a point faces anymore, so not remove it using remove primitive as a point value. So to make the number of primitives 400, I think I need to raise now that I have those point information right here plus 1. I could now relate this together with this. Now looks good. In order to convert this primitive into a point with the attribute, now I can use a primitive wrangle. If I look at carefully right here, by showing the ghost of this grid in it with these lines here. The line is not really on the grid. First of all, I'm going to add a new point at the center. We can kind of estimate at this grid position. Well, what we want to do is to draw this intersected point and grid point. I don't need the primitive white and face not intersected point. Remove it using remove prim. To calculate the intersection between the grid face and now the line. Now that I have those points, we know that it's a square grid the size of 1 by 1, so the easiest way is to just together the distance on the horizontal direction and the vertical direction to check how do I say the grid that I created this square. Now not to calculate the perpendicular direction right here. You can just use the projected of this grid and with these lines here. The line is not really on the grid between the point and the line. Actually. In that case, we can kind of estimate function called min-pos or XYZ distance. What we want to do is to let's use XYZ draw this intersected. You can also retrieve the primitive point number as well. And white and not intersected point as black. Let's do a point wrangle to calculate the intersection between the grid face and the attributes, the line. And if it's we know that it's a square grid the size of 1 by 1 section or not. The easiest way is to just calculate the distance. I know that the grid size is 1, so I need to check whether the distance between the point and the line is within 0.5. this square. That's the
not
gold number. To calculate the perpendicular direction, first of all, you can just use the projected distance, calculate the distance, minimum distance between the point and the line. In that case, second input is either using the current function called min position or XYZ. If the distance is, now let's use XYZ distance, 0.5, then you can also retrieve the primitive number as well. The point is close enough to the edge, so which in that case you want to set the color of the point as white, and this is the one that I want to convert the attributes of this, and point attribute to guide to check if there's any section underscore one. Now, I know that the grid side is 1, so I need to check whether this else the distance between the point and the line is within 0.5. Set it to black. That's the 000 gold number here. And so, the name, first of all, I am going to 0 underscore calculate the distance 0 underscore using XYZ this. Okay, how's it from the second input with using the current point position, and then if the distance is less than 0.5, then that means changes will not go into the geometry spreadsheet. Point is close enough to the edge, and there is a color. In that case, you want to set the color of the point as white. Something is wrong, and set the name of this point attribute to. Let me check the distance first. 1 underscore 1 for each point. Okay, distance else. Okay, everything. The distance is set to 0, so set it to black. This one is wrong. 0. Okay, well, and I was calculating the distance with the polygon, so that was the problem. So let's convert it into line first. Convert, 0 underscore line. Okay, so how's it? Like this. Now, let's check. Now, I should be able to, a bit hard to see if there's any changes or not. Create this into the geometry spreadsheet. The point which is on the edge, there's a color, and the one that's inside as well. There is no color for it. Now it looks good. Something is wrong. Alright, so init grid 2. Let me check the distance first. So I think structure-wise, this one for each point was using the node called WFC initializes, and this one 0, so made it procedurally have this one is wrong. Attributes. Well, I don't need this distance attributes anymore. I was calculating the distance with the polygons.